And now it's time for Fabulous Film and Friends. Flashing back to episode 72 of Fabulous Film and Friends way back in 2023, we covered Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. And so we here on FFF felt duty-bound to give our fans our take on its follow-up and what could very possibly be the final sequel to the entire MI franchise, 2025's Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, directed by Christopher McQuarrie and starring Tom Cruise, Hayley Atwell, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Pom Klementieff, Esai Morales, Shea Whigham, Greg Tarzan Davis, Henry Czerny, and Angela Bassett. Keeping continuity, my guests this week are returnees from the 2023 podcast, my blockbuster crew, David Johnson, DMD, and Burton Brown. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you guys. Happy to have you.
We ran right over.
Yes, you. Do either of you remember what happened in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1?
Lots of running. That's all I remember.
Bert?
No, I remember. Sorry, go ahead, Bert.
Well, we got all the flashbacks in this next movie. So.
I saw those. Well, funny you should ask. So, let me continue my script read. Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Ethan Hunt and his team of Mission Impossiblers have to go rogue yet again to stop the world from yada yada yada. Some old crap megalomaniac with a weapon, this time it's AI, or something. Esai Morales involved. I fell asleep twice, so I didn't quite catch the relationship between the AI and Morales' Gabriel character. This movie seemed like more the same old, but as a Tom Cruise running movie, it's a masterpiece, reaching an operatic Death in Venice level of running sophistication. So how does 2025's big follow-up differ? This time, Ethan Hunt and his ragtag team of crack super spies have to stop the AI entity from blowing up the world, as well as Gabriel from trying to harness its unbelievable power. Yet instead of a running extravaganza, we are treated to the biggest, boldest, hands down, except no substitute, granddaddy of all info dump and flashback movies. Is it the best, guys? Let's find out. All right, Bert. How did this movie go? As an info dump movie, how does this movie rate?
Well, I liked it. I can't remember what I'm comparing it to, but it was. I don't know how to describe it. It was just lots and lots of action, and like you said, a little bit of nostalgia tossed in, and flashback here and flashback there.
A little bit.
Yeah, well,
they got a Shem from the first movie who has an entire character arc and a marriage.
That's true. Well, I didn't want to give all that away.
Well, hey, so anybody listening, this is all just a spoiler warning. It's all spoilers. If you're listening, if you give a crap about the details of the surprises in this movie, you're on the wrong podcast.
The knife is a character in this one, I think.
Yes.
At least in the flashbacks.
No, that knife was in the. It's hard to tell what was in the flashback.
Yeah.
Like what? Wait, Mission Impossible 3? Wait, that super drug was an AI? What?
Yeah. I'm like, huh? Well, they had to tie that in. I didn't know they were going to do that.
Yeah. No, it wasn't what you thought it was. It was an AI.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
And they even tied in John Voight's son as.
Yeah, no.
It's like
Yeah.
No, that was too much. Too much. Anyway, Dave, what'd you think of it?
D+ for me.
D+.
Yeah. I mean, there was some good action. The plane scene was pretty cool. Like,
plane scene,
yeah. And they were still running. It's like, like
I counted 3 running scenes, guys. That's like half of all the running scenes.
But he's like the Flash, right?
Yeah.
Like he just runs. I'm 8 miles on the other side of town. I'm going to run. I'm not going to get in a car or take, any other mode of transportation.
Take an Uber.
I'm running across.
My friend's dying.
I don't know
Victor,
what.
Luther's dying. I got to run. Luther, I'm coming. He's dead, man. He is dead.
What bridge he was running on in front of Big Ben, right? Yeah. And it's just like, man, maybe get a car. I don't know.
I thought, come on, these running scenes.
And it was so long. This movie for me was so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I think. Sorry.
I no, I don't know about D plus. Was it the D plus is pretty close to an F. I mean, right? So what's you're saying? I don't. I'm giving it a C minus. I think. I think it was. I was laughing a lot. I was kind of having fun. Well, I mean, I was laughing just for some reason. I was having a good time at this movie, as boring as it was, and just how many stern-faced flashbacks there were. Like, every time they set up their plot, they had to flash back to. Like, I wish I could count all the times they started flashing back to the other movies in each scene. Like
Yeah.
it was it. There was a
see, this one came from here, and see, this one came from there.
I thought of a Saturday Night Live from 1989 with Justine Bateman, when she was doing Family Ties, and Family Ties at the time was pretty notorious. They were, lazily turning in a lot of flashback episodes. So the Saturday Night Live episode where they're doing Family Ties, and each scene they flash back to another episode. And I thought of that. I was like, this is like the Family Ties satire. Each scene they're just flashing back to something. So I don't know. It was pretty boring. I'd say the nuclear, like getting the code or getting the box, the source code box from the nuclear sub was pretty cool.
Sub, yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
that was a cool sequence. It was a copy. It felt like The Abyss for sure. But okay, The Abyss is one of the great action movies, and not a ton of people sort of rip it off. So I thought that was a good scene until he couldn't just go up the tube. He had to like tear off his suit. I'm like, Dave,
Oh yeah.
I'm no scientist, but correct me if I'm wrong. If you're in freezing Arctic waters or even Alaskan waters in that depth without a suit, wouldn't you just die
you'd be-
instantly?
yeah,
Wouldn't
yeah,
you
you
just
would-
die instantly?
Yeah. But not Ethan Hunt. Okay.
I know.
So
No, he's super.
Like just,
He's super
come on, he
fun.
tears off his suit.
yeah. That was the thing that was frustrating for me. It's like, okay, it's not everything that could go wrong went wrong, right? Like for that, okay, get in the tube. I mean, the subs rolling underwater
Yeah,
and
yeah,
these
yeah.
missiles. Yeah, I get it. And it's like, oh, torpedo tube. Oh, it's locked. Oh, I can't get through it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
rip off my suit, and it's like everything that could go. And then, leading
But
up to
that's
that.
action. That's all action scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Back to the Future. It's Indiana Jones. All action scenes. It's a series of crap. I have a setback. But
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
going fine until that. I thought, oh, geez, it had to. He's gonna die.
It's almost okay. And
Now they
Gene,
told us he was gonna die. They told us he would have to be revived, but they didn't say he was gonna be frozen. I mean, would he be a block of ice? I mean, how much time
Well,
about?
supposedly that cold slows down your
Right, but at
heart
some
rate. It
point
doesn't
he's
quite
just
kill
a
you.
he's just a block of ice. I mean, he's just
Yeah.
dead.
How they got him out of the ice or out from under the ice is I don't know how. How long
Anyway,
did that take?
yeah, okay. I mean, I don't mind him dead for a few seconds, like Mary Elizabeth Mastro Antonio in The Abyss. One of the great all-time action scenes. But this is just too much. It's just a little too much.
and swimming from 500 feet up with no oxygen in freezing, that water is probably like at the bottom, like
Wouldn't he just go and just die? I mean,
30
brain
30
damage. There's no reviving him. I just thought, damn it.
yeah.
They
I
couldn't
mean,
even
it's
pull that off without
yeah.
being stupid.
Yeah.
The plane chase was certainly impressive. Certainly impressive. I mean, it was him and Esai Morales up there, and I was like, wow, that's the actors up there. It's like Saving Private Ryan or something. Like the whole movie's a bunch of crap, but that is one of the finest like directed and performed stunt sequences I've ever seen. So
yeah, at least it wasn't CGI.
no, it looked
Yeah.
great. It
Yeah,
really
yeah.
looked great.
Yeah.
It's remind me also, I had another sort of chuckle to myself about Sideshow Bob escaping with the Kitty Hawk, on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Remind, like, why do they have to be on okay, I get it. They don't, but there's a lot of planes. I mean, obviously they could have been look, I don't know airplanes, but they could have been in any number of propeller-driven, covered passenger planes from the 40s or anything, right? I mean, it'd have to be biplanes. Like, okay, just
Well,
so,
he needs
I
a
know.
way. He needs a way to get in, right?
Well,
To
he
take
needs a
over.
way to be seen doing those death-defying
Yeah, exactly.
stunts.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be on like a cargo plane from the 50s
Yeah.
or something.
One of the planes was probably his own or something because he had to get that on film.
As far as,
Bubbles.
but yeah, as far as plot, it was dumb. Like, how many movies, if you count on one hand, how many movies does it boil down to? The nuclear codes, or somebody, the missiles are going to go off, and oh no, they
End of
don't,
the world.
we're going to have to nuke one of our own cities. It was just like, this is just
And they never said which one.
Mission.
Like, it's Salt Lake City, isn't
I think it was Stockton, California. Let's see, Provo.
Yeah. There you go. Or Draper. That's where.
Oh yeah.
That's where that.
Just throw
NSA is,
hang it.
yeah.
Yeah, just hang it up and throw a dart at it, and that's your city.
Yeah.
Hang up a map, right?
Yeah, but in terms of this was just like all the other Mission Impossible movies, even the last one, which we thought was pretty dumb. This one just felt okay. The other ones always felt a little cool, like they had a little edge above most crap action movies. But this had the Fast and the Furious sort of, they don't even care. They're just doing whatever,
It did have that vibe. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was when I was watching this. Okay, so in the whole, what are there, 8 movies, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think when the first one came out, what was that,
96.
96. You know what? That was actually, for the time, I'm like, oh, this is a cool movie, right? Because it was.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the first
Oh, you didn't
one.
like?
Yeah, but go ahead.
I just liked it. It was like that one was serious. The second one was a miss, but Andy Newton looked good in it. And then, after that, it's like they've just become more and more humor. Like there's humor.
But there was a sort of brevity, kind of a coolness. Like by the third and fourth one, they developed a sort of rapport with Simon Pegg, and they were all kind of quippy and cool. It wasn't as serious. The first one was a legitimate spy movie in a sense. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Just
the mood, like there was no real joking in the first one, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, a little bit, but now it's getting to the point where it's like Fast and the Furious, super Marvel superhero,
but corny. Like this one was corny. Angela Bassett seeing her son, "Hi, Mom." This is painful. I mean, it was painful. It just had all these painful, and again, it had the Anne Shirley syndrome. Do you guys know what I mean about Anne Shirley?
I don't.
Anne of Green Gables, the Anne Shirley, Crocodile Dundee. Think of all those sort of whimsical characters. What is it you can't do, Crocodile Dundee? In Anne of Green Gables, it's always, why, Anne Shirley, you are 1 in a million. You do beat all. So this movie had that, like that hokey Ethan Hunt. You're the only guy we could ever depend on to save the world. If it wasn't for you, Ethan Hunt, we'd all be dead. I don't. It's fine when the character, but this time it's so obvious. I mean, where was Stallone? It was one of those just love letters to Tom Cruise. Only you can save Hollywood. I saw that clip of Steven Spielberg telling Tom Cruise, "You saved Hollywood's ass, baby." And Tom Cruise that night was in bed going, I really did save Hollywood's ass. It's just this movie, it's up to you,
Spielberg
Tom.
told me so.
No, it's just by far. I'd say it's by far. If we went through the 8 movies, this was the worst. Worse than Mission Impossible 2. I'd say Mission Impossible 2 was trying to be a movie. This was just a big old pucker up, kiss Tom Cruise ass, let him do whatever the hell he wants, including fan service to all these movies. I don't care about what happened in part 3. Jeez Louise. We're on 8. You think I remember? I barely remember the plot to any of these movies.
And hence the D+ from my side.
I guess. But I'd say Mission Impossible movies up to this point are like boring. I said it in the last podcast. they're like Born Identity. They're all good while you're watching them, except this one. Like
Yeah,
most
that's
Mission
true.
Impossible movies, I watch them. I couldn't tell you which is which. I'm always sort of forgetting. Oh yeah, like I get when it gets into Rogue Nation and Fallout. And
Yeah.
I just start like I don't remember. I don't remember when Alec Baldwin shows up. I don't remember when what's his face Hawkeye. I'm going to call him Clint Barton. What the hell's his name? Jeremy Renner. When Jeremy Renner, I know he shows up in
true.
some of them.
Yeah,
you know, but I couldn't tell you. Oh, Ghost Protocol. That's the one that started it. You know, where the one in Dubai, where that was the one. That was the one where they're going, Tom Cruise does his own stunts, you know. Like we always took it for granted before, but then suddenly, hey, here's the big set piece. So he's in Dubai and he's on the magnet. Remember, he has the
that's
magnetic
right.
gloves and he's outside. And I was like, whoa, how's he going to top that one? And then this time he hangs out of a plane. So that became the thing. Like, what's he doing? Well, this time he's in a putt biplane. And I thought that seemed really stupid, but I have to say, as a stunt show piece, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But that was sort of the highlight. Like, okay, that was some good. Like, oh, that really is the actor up there. That's pretty cool. You know, both actors. I mean, hey, Tom Cruise is getting all the praise, but Esai Morales, he was up there too. So give him credit. I mean, they were up there. But yeah, Bert, you wanna jump in? You wanna rank this one where it stands in the pantheon of great Mission Impossible movies?
I didn't really. I mean, like I said, I thought it was good, but it wasn't great. No, because at the beginning, you know, you got these super fancy reclining seats, and it's like, about the first 15, 20 minutes, I was falling asleep. And then I eventually woke up.
And the credits were playing.
Almost.
No, the opening credits were playing. No, it was a half.
I don't think I missed
half
it.
an hour
I
into
don't
the
think
movie.
I missed anything.
I looked at my son, and I saw my son.
Oh, yeah.
And I went,
Yeah, my wife said
we're
that.
half an hour into the movie. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, wait, they're going to show credits? You know?
It's over. That's
Big
it.
pre-credit setup, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was funny. Like that, I laughed at that. Just the languorous pace it took to get to the opening credits.
Well, that's what they did in the last one. We watched that one the night before.
Oh, to catch up.
Prime
Very
or
smart.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could just kind of remember. And my wife's like, why are they still showing? It's like you said, we're 20 minutes in. Why are we still seeing credits?
Well, you got to play the theme.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
People wrote the thing, need their money.
Can I say, besides from Hayley Atwell, man, all they looked a little rough. In this.
Bravo, Dave. I wanted to say, not just Ving. So Ving Rhames, Bert, you just watched it. Catch us up. Was he dying in the last movie? I just thought, guess what? Ving Rhames is dying.
Well, all he really did was go off. I have to go. I have to go. And he had to go solve the figure out what needed to happen. So
but
basically, he was
dying
going off
in this
to
movie.
create.
What was that about?
I know. I don't.
That
I don't
just seemed like
them
okay. He
mentioning
does.
that.
He's old. He's getting up there. And poor Ving Rhames. Think of him in Pulp Fiction. He was beautiful, and now, he looked a little worse for wear. And then, but Simon Pegg.
But he was just supposedly going off to get to write the code to kill it.
Yeah.
But he had to be by himself and off grid and off whatever.
Yeah. Well, it killed him. It killed him.
Yeah.
Gave him cancer. He had to use materials that gave him. They should have explained something. Like, what?
Yeah.
You're just dying. What the hell's in the middle of the London sewer subways or the subway and sewer system?
Yeah.
What the hell's this?
He's got a bed down there.
Yeah, he's got a nurse. He's got a nurse down there. I wouldn't take that job. Like, how does this work? Come down to my secret lair. No, I'm gonna stay at
the sewers of London.
I'm gonna stay at the hiring office. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is stupid. Oh, that's what I'm saying. This movie was stupid.
They never really
but
explained
to
that.
Dave's point,
But to me, anyway.
Simon Pegg looked. I look at myself. I go, ugh. And so Simon Pegg was a reminder of how old I am because he and we're all the same age. I'm like, I don't know what that red toupee, Simon. You're not looking good. Just own the oldness. Be bald. I thought he looked awful. He looked like DeForest Kelly.
Yeah.
You know? So he and Carl Urban need to switch parts in the Star Trek series.
Hey, there's the Star Trek,
Always.
Yeah,
Well,
always,
Paramount.
yeah.
It's a Paramount connection for sure. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Hayley Atwell looked fine. Pom Klementieff looked fine. But yeah, you're right. The three men looked terrible. Tom and hey, who noticed all the?
They even commented on his hair.
How about
in the movie? Who would like the?
How about all the shadow photography? Tom Cruise. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Anybody notice? I was kind of chuckling at that. Like, he is shot in shadow a lot. I was surprised they didn't smear Vaseline on the lens. They did use the old, like, starlit eye beam on him a couple times. You know, they would do to aging stars, film in shadow with a little beam across their eyes. They had that going.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, yeah, they were. Yeah. Time to hang it up, Tom. Sorry. He still runs with the best of them, but he didn't look good.
Well, and I mean, they kind of left it open-ended. I thought this was the final one.
It better be.
I hope so.
I don't think it's good.
Well,
but
maybe
hey,
the final one with Tom Cruise, but give him a few years, 3 to 5 years, and they'll rehash it with some up and coming.
I know. There's no Tom Cruise. Look, we may rip on Tom Cruise a lot, but there's nobody replacing him. I mean, who are they gonna get?
Well, I didn't say it would be good.
I'm just saying you're going to have a Fast and the Furious, second Fast and the Furious franchise at that point.
Well, it already is the MI universe. I mean, that's really what this is, right? I mean, maybe they could have a new.
Yeah, but I bet. Okay, gentlemen, how was the crowd when you went, Dave?
I was sitting by some old people, and they were just talking the whole time.
But was it packed?
Yeah, it was packed.
Oh,
yeah.
I was in a theater with 10 people. So
yeah, I read that,
and I went a 7:30 Friday night. I went opening night, and it was not packed.
I read it did what, almost 80 million.
That's not enough.
I know.
That's not enough.
And then Lilo and Stitch did 184 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like the Avengers movies and all.
It wasn't so
all
bad.
The big movies need to make 200 million to blow the doors off. This movie's just gonna do okay. I don't.
We did a matinee before 5, and it was. I think the only seats that were empty were the front couple of rows. Everything else was kind of there, and we sat by old people who were just. I'm like, they would gasp, certain things, and oh no, they were vocal and they clapped at the end. I'm like, they can't hear me. But I'm like, okay, they like.
Oh, you ridiculous boobs!
Yeah.
Yeah, no one clapped.
Yes.
Let them clap. I mean, let them enjoy.
Yeah.
Let the rabble enjoy their movie, Burton. We're too smart for those dopes.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it was an older couple, and I'm like, do you not know how movies work? I don't know.
Well, no one clapped at the end of ours.
I got to say, I was bored. I mean, after that point, after the stunt show, I mean, I appreciate it, but when that ending, I was like, oh, get me out of here. Usually I stay and watch the credits out of duty because, I used to be one of the schmoes in the credits, so I watch this. I'm a credit watcher. Plus, I like the music.
Looking for your name.
And I usually just stay out of duty. And in these days, you might get a little. Hey, look! It's Robert Downey Jr. I might be in the next movie. Wink, wink. And, you get these little cut scenes. But no, I was like, let me at it. Like, let's get out of here. I wanted the hell out of it. It's 3 hours. I still couldn't believe it. I was like, 3 hours for that? For the old somebody's got to defuse the nuclear bomb gag? I mean, that was like, give me a break. And they had 2 of them. They had 2. We need to defuse the nuclear bomb gags. This was like Avatar 2. Remember Avatar 2 when we ripped on the handcuff gag? That, geez, James Cameron, let it go. Let the handcuff gag go. This had. Okay, defuse the bomb? For God's sake. I've been watching that since I was a kid on the Hulk. Which wire do I cut? It's like, come on.
It's just not the red one. Pass out, not the.
It's interesting though.
Red one.
Dune 2 was like 3 hours, and I didn't want it to end. This one, I'm like, I was bored. I'm like, holy cow, this is long.
You have to justify 3 hours, really.
Yeah.
And the movie did not do it. I mean, info dump and all, I still don't. A, I don't give a crap, and B, I don't remember what happened in the first movie. I didn't watch it because I just didn't want to subject myself to it. I don't care because they're all as I say, they're always the same movie anyway. But this was a cut below. This was cliche after cliche. That's why this was the biggest turkey of them all. And 80 million. I'm good, great. It's makes its money, but it's just gonna eke out a box office, and it should. It's terrible, But again, see, is it the worst I've ever seen? No, I'm not gonna go that far. So that's that. Any standout performers? We're gonna keep this quick for Dave's sake. Bert, how was Tom Cruise's performance?
Standard fare. I don't know if I've seen better or worse. It was just typical Tom Cruise to me. It's kind of what I expect.
Points off for looking bad, I think. Just give it up, Tom. Wouldn't it have been cool if in the first 10 minutes just Ethan's dead. Ethan's dead. Crap.
Whatever shall we do?
I guess it's going to be up to you, Simon Pegg.
No.
Yeah.
Or Hayley Atwell. Hayley, you're going to have to save the world. And here's the gag. You've got to do it by invading a bikini club. No, it would have been great. Just kill Tom Cruise off. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dave, how'd you rate? I'd say this is one of Tom Cruise's worst performance, just because he doesn't know how old and dumb he looks.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I would have been wearing a 3-piece suit the whole time. Anyway, go, Dave.
Oh, I agree with that. The most fascinating character that I thought was like, oh, I'd like to know this backstory is the French woman.
Yeah.
And she just had such a small part, right? And I'm like,
but she was the one who was stabbed by what's his face last time. Yeah, I know that because I remember the flashback, and she didn't even get her revenge. She should have been up on that biplane.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought she was the most interesting.
Yeah, she had the most potential for sure.
Yeah,
she had something to. At least I was going, okay, she's gonna really kill that SOB. Oh, it's gonna be good when she gets her revenge. No, and how about the way he dies? I got killed by the tail of an airplane.
It felt.
I wish they had shown the shot where his face is going woo as he hits the mountain. Yeah, he really did that stunt.
It really felt like 70s James Bond. Like Roger Moore James Bond. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I love I love Man with the Golden Gun and Spy Love Me and all
I
those.
mean those, but those are like 60s, right?
No,
I'm talking
that's
like
Roger Moore. When Roger Moore starts with Live and Let Die.
Okay, so that's right. So I'm thinking
of
like
the Roger. Wait, you got the wrong guy here because I like the Roger Moore movies.
It just felt. I'm just like how he dies. Just reminded me of something from Seven.
Sure.
And I like Roger Moore. I like Live and Let Die. I thought that was a great James Bond, but. You know how it just gets sillier and sillier,
Moonraker and let's not get into James Bond, but by Octopussy, we're done. It's like we're done.
And this is where that
by far,
and this is where that movie is for me. It's like, okay, we're done. Two atomic bombs to defuse. Like you said,
it could have done without that death scene because it was out of place. In my opinion.
Which one? With Ving Rhames?
I'm the only one. No, I'm the only one with the parachute.
Oh,
and then impales himself on the tail of the plane.
That was going like 15 miles an hour. I'm kidding.
Usually it's just a hit to the ball. Ow, my balls! It was like, I agree. Okay, there. If you're comparing it to View to a Kill, absolutely. It had
That's
that lackluster sort of. Yeah, it just isn't landing the way you think it is. It's just not good. And again,
I think the people next to us said something like or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Fist pumping. Yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
Look, I always think of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Roseanne and I were sitting next to a little kid screaming, "Fake! Fake!" when Robin Hood hits 3 guys or 2 guys with an arrow, with 2 arrows or something, and he just fake! You can't judge the movie based on the little simpleton sitting next to you. Let them enjoy their bread and circuses, right?
Yeah, I know.
We're too refined for to stoop to that level.
But look, somebody be mad at me. I was chuckling through the whole movie. I was getting a good laugh. What's so funny? Reminded of
what you laughing
when I was
at?
in college. It was always no commentary, dork. No commentary, dork. In the common TV room in the dorms. 'Cause I was always ripping on their favorite movies like Pretty Woman and Die Hard 2.
Oh.
No commentary, dork.
You spoil everything.
Anyway,
it's funny. I've read a handful of reviews, and they all are like. I mean, they don't. It's like they certainly don't hate it, and a lot of them are like, "Oh, it was really good," and they really liked it. And
paid chills, Bert.
I'm like,
paid
I
chills.
liked it.
They're all come on. You can't trust the media, and you could all through the entire history of the media. You could never trust reviewers. They get paid off. So we talked about Tom Cruise. We did. You like Pom Klementieff? I even Hayley Atwell. Don't you think Hayley Atwell was sidelined? She seemed not.
Yeah.
Even though they tried to give her things to do, she didn't have much to do.
No.
She's like, oh, let me snuggle with you, Tom, and nurse you back to health. Do they have a romantic interest or not? What the hell's going on here?
Well, he certainly doesn't want her to die.
Whatever happened to Michelle? Can somebody tell me? I don't remember. Bert, you're probably up to the minute. What happened to Michelle Monaghan? Is she dead? What happened to her? She was in one of the movies.
Yeah, she was killed that's the one that was killed in Venice by...
No, that was Rebecca Ferguson.
That was Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh, that was Ferguson.
But
wasn't she married to Ethan Hunt? Isn't that her?
Michelle Monaghan was married in part 3.
Yeah.
And part 4, it's like, they had to fake their death. But then in, I guess, part 5, I think, or
she
6,
was like,
she shows up
evil
again.
Guys killed her in front of him.
No, that was.
I can't keep them all straight.
No, that was
she's not
that
dead.
Was,
she's not.
that was,
to my knowledge, she's not dead.
Yeah.
And
whatever happened to Jeremy Renner and
exactly
that other girl that was in that one when they were in Dubai? It's like they just
Paula
disappeared.
Patton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they disappeared. Yeah. I guess they crossed the mighty Tom. I don't like your attitude. You're gonna wear that mask.
I have noticed that aside from Rebecca Ferguson, all of the girls and then the Pom, they all look like who'd you just say, Monaghan? They all have
he has his type. I said that in the last one. I distinctly remember saying in the last podcast, he has his type.
Yeah.
It starts from Nicole Kidman and it doesn't really veer from that. But they're all British. Yeah, but they have that sort of vibe, that sort of British looking, Irish British. He has a thing. You see this taste in women, De Niro likes black women. Tom Cruise likes porcelain British looking women. It's just a certain, you see his thing. Like, it's like Spielberg with kids. Ooh, who's that fabulous new kid? Like, who is that striking Anglo-Saxon woman? Yeah.
Oh.
Well, clearly she must just be in hiding.
Yeah, so much that he has other love interests. Like, wait, did they get a divorce? Can you just say it, Tom? Because the whole thing's weird.
Yeah, I thought they did.
I thought she remarried in one of them.
I don't remember. I
just some doctor or something.
Right. I thought they were having a spat in one of the films. In one of the other, I think it was Fallout. I'm gonna say Fallout. Or, I don't know, Rogue Nation. I don't know. I don't remember. I know she just shows up again. I'd have to watch them all. I just don't want to do it. It's just too much of a slog.
Yeah, that's
like watching Harry Potter. Like, oh my God. Just get to Voldemort. Would you kill this stupid guy already?
Well, and the other thing is I don't even know, what, 5, 6, 4, 5, and 6, there was that bad guy.
Yeah.
And then he just disappeared. Like, what happened to him, right?
Right.
And now there's a new bad guy.
Did he die?
I don't know.
They bringing him back. No, that's
right.
Yeah.
He fell in in the Arctic Ocean and they revived him. I'm kidding. That's Tom. That's Tom Cruise.
Oh, right. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
should do that. It's a
you
pretty
know,
good
yeah.
idea.
He was in a submarine and he tried to swim out without oxygen or a wetsuit,
Yeah.
and he died. But then they brought him back. So I don't know.
That seems really plausible for a bad guy.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So worst performer. Let's give it the worst performer. Who was the worst? I'm gonna say it was Simon Pegg. Every time he was off the screen, I'd go, not looking good, Simon. Cut him out.
And he almost died.
Yeah, I was good. Die, damn you, die. Look, I'm an ageist. I'm sorry. I got gray hair. I'm his age. No, I'm sorry. You've expired. You're no longer movie star material. You've got to get out of there. Now you're part of the stern faces in the boardroom, Simon. You should have been there with all the stern, sweaty faces, all the Washington guys going, I don't know if we're gonna make it, Madam President.
Which city do we bomb?
Yeah, he should have been on that one. It's bloody. It can't be London. It's got to be that guy. Yeah.
I'd probably say Simon Pegg. He just, it wasn't good.
I don't want to see him as Scotty ever again. That's for sure. All right, it's time to recast. What happened to Scotty?
As from the main characters, I would have to pick him. There was others that I thought were worse, but
I thought everyone else was fine. Simon Pegg was the one I kept going. I don't want.
I didn't like Nick Offerman, and I didn't like this whole McCallity.
Yeah, well,
I liked him in other things, but
Bert, that's a time-honored tradition of actors past their prime get to play the stern faces in the boardroom. So I was like, Nick Offerman, okay, you're all puffy and fat. Why not play the Secretary of Defense or whatever, whoever he was? I just thought, that's all.
Well, I don't know. It just didn't come across as real to me. But.
Well, not like that thawing scene, right?
No, I mean, I just, I couldn't get past. Usually, even when I, would see some people I know in plays or whatever, I could forget that I know them, and and get caught up in the character and not realize that, hey, I know that person and they're a friend of mine. Did I see you in any plays, Gino? I don't think so.
Me? How did you miss my Captain Blunchley in Arms of the Man?
But my own brother was in a play at TVCC, I think. Or maybe it was in high school. I don't remember.
I killed as Sid Sorokin in the Pajama Game. I was the best Nathan Detroit the Nissa High School ever saw.
That doesn't mean I was there. Yeah. But I was able to look past it and the performance was good enough that I forgot who I was looking at. And that did not happen with those two guys at all.
But they got the faces. They got stern boardroom faces. I just go, that's what they do. It's what they do, and they want. Oh, I want the best cast for the boardroom scenes. It's got to be Holt. It's got to be Nick. It's got to be Angela.
I like that Holt guy in that other thing he was in.
The Eagle, the Claw.
FBI file. It was FBI Files or something. It wasn't. That isn't what.
No, but he was in that movie that Alex loves so much, the wrestling movie with High School Musical guy. What the hell?
The wrestling.
Yeah, the Claw, the professional wrestler movie. He played the dad. He was great in that. He's a good actor,
Yeah, I think he's a good actor. I just didn't care for him in this particular one.
He's collecting a paycheck.
The Iron Claw.
The Iron Claw, right.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you who.
Mindhunter is what I first saw him in, and it was a series.
Oh. Okay.
I could say that I didn't forget it was Tom Cruise every time I saw him on stage.
Well, that's true.
And this was his worst performance, I think. Yeah. Don't you think? It was bad.
No,
it was. I mean,
if they'd killed him, I probably would have been happy. That's cool.
A
Mission Impossible movie without Tom Cruise. Awesome. We got to do it for Tom. Then he comes back at the end. Yeah, it was just disguised as the president. I just had to see how you guys would do. I'd been fine with that. Okay.
Rip his mask off at the very end.
Yeah. Just needed you to come through. It couldn't be me. I can't save the world every time.
had to prove to you that you could do it.
No, I've been perfectly fine without Tom Cruise, but I still can't see who would headline the series without him.
Well, they could get Vin Diesel from Fast and the Furious, and the government can go to them to save the world because they're the new
mash it all up, right?
Mash it all up at this point.
We got the fastest
Why
cars.
don't you make
We have
it
the
just
fastest cars.
Dwayne Johnson and Dwayne?
I will never ever see a movie with Dwayne Johnson ever again. Not even on video. I'm done with him. So
well, at least with Vin Diesel, he won't be running everywhere. He'll just hop in his big car and drive it. So
he can't run. All right. Let's see. We've already talked about the stunts, the effects, the music's fine. I'm not going to bore you guys with music. I did barely notice it except for the old, it's the thing about the Mission Impossible movies. The only cool theme is the theme. Like Anyway, okay. Dave, we're going to get you out in time.
Wait, is this series was based on a TV series or was it a movie first?
Mission Impossible. Oh, it was a TV show.
Okay.
With my man Leonard Nimoy at one point.
That's right.
He joined. Well, no. First it was Martin Landau. Then it was, so it was Peter Graves, Martin Landau. I watched it. I didn't watch it religiously. I watched it enough to know that them. It was always on. It was on. It would be on syndication before Star Trek for a while. So I got kind of excited when Leonard Nimoy was on it, and he was Paris, the master of disguise. So I thought she was going to become, because her name was Paris, and I thought she was going to do she's going to be the best master of disguise ever. But no, they didn't.
So they never made a movie in the 70s of this, right? The first Mission Impossible.
I'm not a huge fan of it, so I don't know. I don't know if they did like a Batman 66. Where they did that movie. I'm not sure. There could have been TV movie versions, where they did a 2-hour, TV, but never the Tom Cruise 96 movie was the first movie. That's why the fans had to have that callback to Phelps, because everybody was furious that John Voight, who was playing Peter Graves' part, was a bad guy. So they were mad about that. That's why we have to have a redemption arc for Phelps. The fans demand it. That part was so sad. I was thinking, you could have easily cut this. At the end of the movie with the handshake, I was like, wait, and wasn't it confusing when Henry Czerny and Junior Phelps come in and with their team? And we got to know what you know, Ethan. And so they're bad. No, what was that about? Bert, can you tell me? You're more clear on this plot than I am.
Well, it was hard to keep track of those guys and who was going to be the bad guy.
So then Esai Morales had another team who came in and took over. So there was 3 teams. Yeah. Like triple cross. Right. I want a really deadly triple cross.
Well, when they were in the cave and the first guy, they're already kind of ambushed, and then
the IMF shows up.
Gabriel looks up and sees somebody getting stabbed. I'm like, well, who did that?
Yeah, and it was Henry Czerny and the Phelps guy and their team. So there was all these. So I didn't know, are they bad or good? So I was a little confused actually when the handshake happened, because I thought they were gonna. I thought they were going to kill Tom Cruise.
They wanted him dead. I thought they wanted Cruise dead. Yeah. Cruise, whatever.
Hunt.
Ethan. Yeah. I thought they wanted him dead for sure. He knew too much of all sorts of stuff, not just this particular adventure, all the other adventures, and they just wanted him dead. But
well, in Tom Cruise world, the only thing that matters is the only good one is Ethan Hunt. Everyone else is bad. I mean, that's his little team, his IMF team. They're all just good. Yeah.
All right. Direction. Do we want to comment on the direction? Was it well directed? I don't think so. I've never seen a more poorly directed movie in the sense of, you don't need 3 hours to tell this story. It's just a bomb diffusion movie.
Yeah.
That was almost like the ultimate bomb diffusing. Let's just hide the fact that it's a bomb movie. Sum of all fears. Hunt for how many movies have we been in this situation where it's gonna be Armageddon unless our hero can get the message through? I mean, that's that's got whiskers. You talk about old gags, tired gags. That was it. So I was like, I don't believe this. It just boils down to this. Just not clever. Not clever.
A sad way to end that, series. It's like just the movies just got progressively worse and worse. It's like, maybe.
Well, I think the one with Henry Cavill, I seem to think that was pretty good.
Yeah,
them duking it out and whatever in the helicopter, whatever. I thought that was fine when they're flying. I thought that was a pretty good one. I didn't think
which one. I don't even know which one what number is that.
I'm gonna say Rogue Nation. No, not Rogue Nation. Fallout. I thought Fallout was fine. Like I watched it and think, it's the same. It's always the same old thing. They're like Born Identity, X-Men, Harry Potter. You just you sit down, you watch it, and you can't remember what happens, but it's fine while you're watching it. This one stands out as not fine.
Yeah.
That's all. So this one just jumped out as like, Jesus is dumb. Like dumb. Like every turn it seemed dumb. Like I was just my son, he's very serious. He's like, his little mind works. He's a little bit like one of those math guys in those TV shows, Numbers or whatever. He's trying to figure out all the intricacies of the plot. So I've used to be that way, and he's all into it. And I keep going, this is a bunch of crap. He's like, shh, quiet, Dad. So he wants to know the ins and outs of what's going on, and he's going to talk about it. Like, well, here's the deal: the entity was programmed. So he's like that. He's trying to figure it all out, and I'm just laughing at it, like, this is all bullshit. Anyway, there was that moment where they showed like the one guy who was a believer. That could have been cut. So in the beginning they had like the believers in the entity. Yeah, that didn't go anywhere, did it?
No.
And then they had the one guy who was gonna, and then Nick Offerman, who you think is gonna, I need your firearms, Major. And you think, oh, he's gonna shoot the president, but no, he's a hero. Like, who needed that crap? He just had a gun. I never go anywhere without my trusty Glock. That should have been the deal. Like, did we need a scene setting this bullshit up? No, it was poorly edited, poorly directed. I just thought, except for this. Okay, give the guy his due. Christopher McQuarrie, the stunts, fine, good, interest. Like, I just was dazzled by the fact that actors were up doing that stuff, and that's pretty good. Yeah. Like, okay, that. I'm not going to scoff at that like a cynic, because that's hard work and they're up there doing it. And, each shot, that was a huge sequence. And I'd say I caught a few cheats, a few CG background shots. Not a lot. Most of that was them up in those planes, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, final question. Will you watch it again? David Johnson.
Nah, it's a hard pass for me.
Same. Burt Brown, will you watch it again?
Oh yeah, I'll watch it again.
Okay.
When I've got
lonely Friday night, got nothing. Family's out of town, and you got nothing to sit down with my popcorn.
Typically, for me to watch even a 2-hour movie, it takes me a few days. It's just interruption after interruption for whatever reason. Those 3 hours, I'd have to has everybody gone to bed? Should I just watch TV? But then I'd fall asleep on the couch if that was the case. So. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it all in one sitting ever again, but I will watch it again.
Well, at least you can get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, all those flashbacks will put me. I fall asleep now on movies I'm interested in. Like, I'm like, wow, I was interested. Shoot! I wake up, the TV's blank. I'm like, the Netflix logo's on the screen. I'm like, what? I liked what I was watching. What the hell, you old man? Anyway. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for indulging me. I'm glad we got together for this monumentous podcast. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Subscribe and like and all that baloney. All right, bye, everybody. Thank you for listening to Fabulous Film and Friends. Copyright 2025, a Bel Air Films production.